Looks like it's time. Secretary, can you hear us there in Las Vegas?
Yes, Governor, I can hear you.
You ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's call to order the State of Nevada Board of Examiners meeting scheduled for today, May 13th, 2025, time being 10 a.m. We'll kick it off with the roll call.
Governor Lombardo,
Present.
Attorney General Ford,
Here.
Secretary Aguilar.
Here.
Let the record reflect we have a quorum.
All right, we'll move on to the first opportunity for public comment. The first public comment period is limited to comments on items on the agenda. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this public comment period unless that matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda as an action item. The chair of the board, myself, has imposed a 3-minute time limit. Public comment may be provided in person or via telephone. The telephone number being 775-321-6111. When prompted, provide the meeting ID being 847-768-974, pound. Do we have anybody there in Las Vegas for public comment?
There's no one, Governor.
Do we have anybody here in Carson City? Anybody on the phone? Online? All right, we'll close the first opportunity for public comment. Move to agenda item number 3, approval of the April 8th, 2025 meeting minutes for possible action. Do we have any board member questions or concerns? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve. Cisco.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll move on to agenda item number 4, state vehicle purchases for possible action. Ms. Grenemeyer.
Pursuant to SAM 0304, no watercraft may be purchased by any department, office, bureau, officer, or employee of the state without prior written consent of the State Board of Examiners. This request is from the State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Division of Environmental Protection. The department requests approval to purchase 1 replacement watercraft for a total amount not to exceed $34,220. Are there any questions on this item?
Any questions?
Yeah, I have one simple question. It's Cisco. The purchase agreement shows that it's being purchased from California. Is there a reason why it's not being purchased from a Nevada entity?
They're coming forward, Secretary.
Thank you.
Good morning, Governor. My name is Danilo Dragoni. I'm a Deputy Administrator with the Nevada Division of Environmental Protection. Today with me is Jason Kuchniki, Chief of the Water Quality Planning. So I think he's going to answer.
Good morning. Jason Kuchniki, Chief of the Bureau of Water Quality Planning, for the record.
Can you get the mic closer? Sure. He's having trouble hearing you.
Yes, we did look into purchasing it, but the Reno, they could not order it there. Their boating facility is based out of Sacramento, out of Rockland. We did look at ordering it from Las Vegas, but that would just be, quite the travel to bring the boat back. So we decided to just move forward with the Stockton, and I do not believe they're going to charge any state tax on that. We are asking them to register as a vendor of the state.
Okay, thank you. And there was no other vendor that was available to sell the same product in Nevada or Reno?
We did get 3 quotes. There was another vendor, but it was more cost effective to go with the selected vendor out of Stockton, or excuse me, out of Rockland.
Thank you.
If there are no further questions, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Move approval.
We have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We'll move on to agenda item number 5, authorization to contract with a current and/or former state employee for possible action. Ms. Grenemeyer.
This request is from the Governor's Finance Office, Office of Project Management, pursuant to NRS 333.705, subsection 1. The office requests authority to contract with a former employee, Teresa Carrillo, to provide subject matter expertise in the state's legacy finance and human resource systems through a statewide contract with Manpower. Are there any questions?
Do we have any questions?
No questions. Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Agenda item number 6, request for approval of proposed state administration manual changes for possible action. Ms. Greenemeyer.
Pursuant to NRS 353.040, the office requests modifications to the policies and procedures of the State Board of Examiners adopted and collected in the following chapters of the State Administrative Manual. Chapter 0100, Board of Examiners Policies, Chapter 0200, Travel, Chapter 0300, Cooperative Agreements and Contracts, Chapter 1200, Mail Services, and Chapter 2600, Claims. Chapter 0200 requires further modification to exclude the constitutional offices from the requirements to seek approval from the governor's office for out-of-country travel. Section 0210, subsection B, is modified as follows. For out-of-state travel, employees are required to submit a travel request for approval prior to making any travel arrangements. All out-of-country travel requests must be submitted and received approval from the governor's office prior to making any travel arrangements. Exceptions to this requirement include constitutional officers, as they are required to establish their own out-of-country travel policies. Are there any questions?
Do we have any questions?
No questions, motion to approve?
We have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you. You're off the hook, Jack.
Not yet.
Agenda item number 7, request for approval of land lease agreement for possible action. Ms. Greenemeyer.
This request is from the State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Division of State Lands, pursuant to NRS 322.060 and 322.065. The department requests approval of a land lease agreement with the 501c3 nonprofit organization Campus for Hope Foundation to deliver transitional housing to homeless individuals and families and supportive homelessness assistance and prevention services. Are there any questions?
No questions, just that this is good. Motion to approve?
You cut out there, Cisco.
Oh, I said no questions. I was just saying this is a great project. Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion for approval. If we have no further questions, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Congratulations on that one. Very big, just like the secretary said, very big deal. Good job, Jack.
Actually, I whispered it's a big effing deal. Great work, great work.
Can you hear me, Jack?
Like, we didn't get any kind of response or anything.
I know. He's like, leave me alone. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 8, request for the allocation disbursement of funds for salary adjustments for possible action. And prior to walking through each one individually and/or as a group, my understanding is item I is being pulled. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
All right, let the record reflect. And how would the board like to proceed? Would you want them all together or separately?
All together, please.
Yeah, same here.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead, Ms. Greenemeyer.
There are 17 requests under this agenda item. The 2023 legislature, through Assembly Bill 522, made appropriations from the general fund and the highway fund to the Board of Examiners to meet salary deficiencies that may be created between the appropriated money of the state's respective departments, commissions, and agencies, and the salary requirements for the personnel of those departments, commissions, and agencies. The Board of Examiners, upon recommendation of the Director of the Governor's Finance Office, may allocate and disperse amounts from the appropriated fund to the departments, commissions, and agencies of the state for the purpose of paying personnel salary deficiencies. Requests A through M request funds for salary increases. I would note that request I from the Department of Transportation has been withdrawn by the agency The total request amount for items A through M, excluding I, is $155,824,321. Request N through O request funds for the plan to encourage continuity of service for a total of $427,554. Request P through Q request funds for sworn positions for a total of $12,879,431. Are there any questions?
None here. You want a motion?
No questions.
Yes.
Move approval, please.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thanks for taking those together. All right, we will move on to agenda item number 9, approval of proposed leases for possible action. Ms. Grandemeyer.
There are 7 leases under this agenda item for approval by the board. Are there any questions on this item?
I have none. Any other questions?
No questions. Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll move on to agenda item number 10, approval of proposed contracts.
There are 46 contracts under this agenda item. I would note Contract 6 with the Division of Human Resource Management and the Simmons Group, and Contract 13 with Medicaid and University of Nevada, Reno, have been withdrawn by the agencies. Are there any questions on these items?
Yes. So for the record, Governor Lombardo, bear with me one second. Let's go to contracts 19 through 24. And do we have Health and Human Services available today to speak to them?
Yes, we do.
So the question is, there's a significant amount of money associated with each one of those contracts, total of 5 at $12 million apiece. Is that correct?
Thank you. Jennifer Krupp for the record. Yes, that is correct.
And can you just walk me through why they're all of similar amounts and why it's purposeful for that?
Thank you for the question. Again, Jennifer Krupp for the record. These contracts are built off of the expected per member per month that we would anticipate paying for Medicaid recipients through the course of the 5-year contract that would be beginning January 1st of 2026.
Can you pull a little bit closer?
My apologies.
There you
Is that
go.
better? And so these contracts do represent the amount of capitation payments we would expect to pay for the medical services for these Medicaid beneficiaries.
So is that a standard procedure we've done in previous years?
It is.
Okay.
Again, Jennifer Krupp for the record.
So it's just an encumbrance, it's not a payment?
It is an encumbrance, yes. It could depend on how our caseload changes through the course of the contract period. So if enrollment goes up or down.
Additionally, Governor Teresa Carson, for the record, members have choice to plans. They have a choice into a plan, and those that don't make a choice get assigned into a plan. So they're allowed to have movement from. So it's hard for us to determine which plan they're going to end up on. So allowing the not to exceed amount to remain the same across all plans allows that movement without constant additional amendments to each of the contracts.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
No questions.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion. Thank you.
I will move for approval with the exceptions of 6 and 13.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I said aye, right? Yep.
Yes.
All right, we'll move on to 11, approval of proposed master service agreements for possible action. Ms. Grinnemeyer.
There are 14 master service agreements under this agenda item for approval by the board. Are there any questions?
Do we have any questions?
No questions. Motion to approve?
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. We'll move on to agenda item number 12, informational only item, clerk of the board contracts.
There are 63 contracts within the threshold of $10,000 to $99,999 that were approved by the clerk of the board from March 15, 2025 through April 15, 2025. This item is informational. Are there any questions?
No questions from me.
None here.
No questions. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 13, information item reports. We'll take them separately.
Separately. The first report is from the Governor's Finance Office, Budget Division, pursuant to NRS Chapter 353. The division presents a reconciled fund balance report of the following accounts. The approximate balances are as follow. Tort claim fund is $2.2 million. Statutory contingency account is $65,000. Stale claims account, $721,000. Emergency account, $500,000. Disaster relief account, $14.3 million. The IFC contingency unrestricted general fund is $11.9 million. IFC contingency unrestricted highway fund is $1.6 million. IFC contingency restricted general fund is $113.8 million. IFC contingency restricted highway fund, $18.8 million. And then extradition coordinator budget account, 1002, is $65,000. This is informational item. Is there any questions?
I'm sorry. We were having a sidebar here.
That's okay.
Sorry. All right, do we have any questions on item 13? A.
No questions.
All right.
The second report is the Department of Motor Vehicles Complete Streets Program pursuant to NRS 482.1825, subsection 2. The department shall certify monthly to the Board of Examiners the amount of the voluntary contributions collected for each county by the department and its agents, and that the money has been distributed to as provided in statute. This supplemental reports programs activities by month for the third quarter of the fiscal year 2025 for the period beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending March 31st, 2025. This item is informational. Are there any questions?
Any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. If there are no further questions, I'll move on to agenda item number 14, second opportunity for public comment. Do we have anybody there in Las Vegas?
No, Governor. Thank you.
Do we have anybody here in Carson for public comment? Anybody online? Phone? All right. We'll move on to agenda item number 15, adjournment. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Congratulations, we finished.
Thank you, everybody. Jessica Post is in my office.